Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now we are going to discuss the second experimental research design, the within subjects design, or also known as repeated measures design. So we discussed before between subjects design. So in between subjects design, we divided the participants into two groups, minimum of two groups. Participants are placed in each of two treatment conditions through random assignment. So we have two equal groups. Each group has different experimental condition. Then we compare the results of the measurement of on-dependent variable. In within subjects design, we compare two or more different treatment conditions by observing or measuring the same groups of individuals. This is the key, the same group of individuals in all treatment conditions being compared. So it's also called repeated measure design, as I said before. And the characteristics of within subject design is that it uses a single group of participants and test or observe each individual in all the different treatments. So if we have three treatment conditions, all participants must experience all the three conditions. And here is treatment 1, treatment 2, and treatment 3. This is an example of within subjects design, an experiment to investigate the effects of humor on sentences recalling. So a group of participants were given a list of humorous sentences, and then asked to recall as many sentences as possible. This is in the first step, and then after that, the participants must go through similar procedure, but this time with non-humorous sentences. And then we compare the results of the measurement. So this is one structure of within subjects design. So we have another structure of within subjects design. So where all treatments were administered together, the humorous and the non-humorous sentences, we give them together, and then we measure the dependent variables, how many sentences they could remember. So as you might guess, in this study, participants remember the humorous sentences better than the non-humorous sentences. So the advantages of within subjects, in within subjects use fewer participants compared to between subjects. So this is because between subjects measuring the same group of individuals in all treatment conditions. And another advantages of within subjects eliminates the problems with individual differences among groups. So we have here perfect matching. We don't have to conduct matching again, because within subject design has no individual differences between groups. There is only one groups of participants. The disadvantages of within subjects design. Within subject design is not applicable in specific cases of study. So this is especially in treatments that produce permanent changes in participants, such as learning process. For example, we want to compare two methods of teaching reading to first grader. We have method 1 and method 2. So after the children learn with method 1, learn to read with method 1, the effects are permanent. So it is not possible to unlearn the reading ability, to know the effects of methods 2. So another disadvantages, participants goes through a series of treatments conditions. So this is more prone to confounding variables from time-related factors, such as history, fatigue, carryover effects, practice effects, and so on. So we will discuss this in controlling the order effects and the threats to internal validity within subjects, in other video. And then the last disadvantages within subjects is that is participants attritions, or also called participants dropouts, because the participants involved longer in the experiments compared to between subject, of course. So they are more prone to dropouts, means they are not finishing the participation in the experiment. So that's it, the introduction to within subjects design. So I took the information from these 3 books, these 3 chapters. Okay, thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.